Hey everybody, welcome on back to You Gotta Try This podcast. It's with me, Large. It's with Ian behind the ones and twos. I actually have a third person in the room today, young lady named Summer, who's going to be shadowing me all day because I'm a media mogul, apparently. And this whole thing is brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi just makes food taste better. I can't hammer that into you guys any more than I already had. I made spicy bulgogi last night over this sushi rice. So I combined Japanese and Korean. I'm doing the whole thing. It was almost too spicy to palate, and then in steps Pepsi and makes everything okay. Sweetness brought out the sugars in it. I had a wonderful experience with my dinner where I might have misjudged the heat beforehand. Honestly, it came in and saved the day. So Pepsi has all these flavors. You can try and find which one is your favorite. I've been doing a lot of the Pepsi Zero sugars lately, but now I'm going full bore. I'm just going the old school blue can. And it's one of those things where I see it in a restaurant, my eyes light up. If I see it at a bar, my eyes light up. And if I come home and I see it in the fridge, my eyes light up even more. So I am telling you right now, that Pepsi does something that makes flavors pop. Pepsi makes food taste better. And if you're going to go about having all this great food, then pair it with the Pepsi because food deserves Pepsi. We appreciate your continued support. Let's get to the podcast, Ian. Ian, how you doing? This is a special episode for a kid like you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I said before, I've never been so excited for a guest to come in at Barstool.
So I sometimes do not trust Ian. Everyone knows how I don't like him. Sometimes I don't trust him as well. When he had mentioned that there was a musician that was coming into Barstool that we should get, gentleman's name is Quinn XCII, Quinn 92 for the year that he was born. I was skeptical just because I wasn't familiar with the young man's music. Winds up, the young man has some great music. Me and Bridget were listening to it in the car the other day. It was filled with bangers. You still saying that?
Bangers only.
Bangers only. Okay. And on top of it, he has a mustard brand. So sometimes you think musician has a mustard brand, but it's just like a little bit of a habit. Is he going to come in and just really talk about music and not too much about food? We pre-recorded this. We did this a couple of days ago. This guy, Quinn, I could have spoke to him about food, Michigan food, mustard, all this little stuff that I don't think I can talk to many people about. I could have spoke to him for hours. So you went from being somebody that I don't trust to somebody who just made me a fan of this guy. Honest to God, Ian, you hit the nail on the head with this, and I'm really happy with the way that it came out. So coming up in just a couple of minutes, we have this guy, Quinn 92 in here. His real name is Mike. His nickname is Mustard Mike, and it has been for a long time. So he started a mustard brand. He's got 2 flavors out right now. We have the bourbon cherry that I do like 10 bumps of this during the actual thing. It's delicious, 100% delicious. He has another one that's like rosemary and Dijon, which I haven't tried yet, but I'm going to. And it's just been a great experience. So we're going to put that up in a couple of minutes. We do not get to do this podcast unless people sign up for it, unless people give us likes, 5-star reviews, subscribe, all that stuff. So I am pleading with you guys. It means a lot. If you like what we do, subscribe to what we do, and give us 5-star reviews. And if you leave 5-star reviews anywhere, leave reviews anywhere that you can, drop in a question. We'll try to pull them from wherever you're listening or watching this thing, and we'll try to answer a question every week. Ian, do we have a question this week?
Yes. This one is from Junior Pie Man. Hey, Large and Ian, absolutely love the show. Was a huge Twisted History follower, so glad to hear Large every week. Love Ian chiming in as well so that I have something to relate my 2-year-old with.
Oh, you always get a little jab. You're the lifeblood of this thing. There is no you got to try. I don't exist. You complete me. That's a Jerry Maguire line, but go ahead.
His question is, anyways, what's your take on corn on the cob? Grill or boil? Also, should it be a side at restaurants in the summer?
What's my take on corn?
This question did come in a couple weeks ago.
Right. No, it's not a seasonal thing that's making me wonder. I don't know of a lot of people who don't enjoy corn on the cob. It's one of the first things we gave our kids kind of when they were young because it kept them busy. And I've always been a huge corn on the cob guy. Grilled or boiled, I guess it's seasonal, right? If you get a nice ear of sweet corn in the middle of the summer, you barely have to touch it to a grill and it just brings out those natural sugars. And then I slather it in butter and salt. I can't think of something that I look forward to as a side dish more than summer corn coming off of a grill. So I will tell you right now, that's how I prefer it. I will also tell you that if it's raining or if it's cold or something like that and I have corn, I boil it and it still slaps. Are you still using the word slaps at all, Ian?
That one's getting phased out a little bit.
Okay. So so it still hits.
It plays for you, yeah.
It does for me. It hits. It hits. Is that good?
Yeah.
Hits better than slaps a little bit? I'm trying to learn.
You should try to hit and slap a little less.
Okay. So either way, corn on the cob to me is considered an elite side dish. The street corn stuff where everyone now is putting it, not everyone now, it's been happening for years with the mayonnaise and the cotija cheese and the chili powder and all that stuff. I like that as well. But to be honest with you, you can't beat butter and salt on an ear of grilled sweet corn outside at a barbecue, grease running down your hands, butter running down your face, and you know that 6 hours later, you're going to see it again once you use the men's room. So I think that it's an elite side dish. Give it to me any way that you can. I guess I prefer it grilled when you put a gun to my head, but boil it, do whatever the hell you want. I make a great black bean and corn salsa now that I'm thinking about it, because whenever I have leftover grilled corn, I just kind of slice that off with some black beans, jalapenos, cilantro, lime juice, blah, blah, blah. So corn, this is a corn forward friendly podcast. Do you think the guy asked this, Ian, because he hates it and he wants me on his side? Like, I don't know what's the angle on that, because corn seems like it's universally loved. No? And we're just trying to read into it. There was nothing more hidden within this. We appreciate the question, appreciate the review. And the short answer is give me corn however the fuck you want to, but I prefer it grilled, and I'd have it as a side dish, not only seasonally, but just about year round. I was raised on corn. You know what I mean?
My favorite vegetable.
Get out of here. Is it really?
It's not really vegetable. So.
Oh, no, it is, right?
Yeah, no, it is. It counts.
I got you.
It's not green, but.
I hear you. I will tell you what I'm probably staying away from. I love movie theater popcorn. Love movie theater popcorn. I know how unhealthy it is and all that stuff. I ask them to stop halfway so I can butter and salt it, shake it up. Then they put on the other half, butter and salt it, shake it up. I'm a movie theater popcorn fucking fanatic, but nothing destroys my stomach more than movie theater popcorn. I don't know what the hell that is, but it is absolutely deadly. So I've cut back on that. More corn on the cob. Let's get to it. By the way, I had seen something. One of our first episodes, perhaps was our first episode. Was Mangold our first episode?
Yes.
Yeah. So we did this collabo back then. It was Grater's Ice Cream was pairing itself with Skyline Chili. And because Nick was such an Ohio State guy, and he loves Skyline Chili, loves Grater's Ice Cream. If you don't know what Grater's Ice Cream is, it's my favorite ice cream. It's my favorite ice cream, hands down, Grater's Ice Cream. So but I always thought it was a weird collaboration, Skyline Chili and Grater's Ice Cream. Then I had it, and it wasn't like there was chunks of ground beef in it. It was like cinnamon, warm spices, and the only thing with texture within is that they put in those oyster crackers that you throw in, chili, Skyline Chili if you want to, and Skyline Chili is traditionally served over noodles. I get all that stuff. They put oyster crackers in the cinnamon flavored ice cream, and it worked. It worked for us both. Me and Nick and I, we both loved it. I read a headline. I didn't actually read a headline. I was flipping through TikTok, and one of my favorite food influencers is a guy named Eric Hammer. He kind of exists in and around Hoboken and Jersey City. He's just branched out to do some stuff with ballparks, and whenever he travels, he obviously does some stuff. So Eric had something where a ice cream brand that I recognize, I haven't had, but Van Leeuwen. It's relatively popular, Van Leeuwen. They paired up in a collaboration with Carnival Cruise Lines, which hasn't had a good headline in months. Like Carnival Cruise Lines, man, every time you see them show up on your feed, you're not going to see something that's probably making you angry. But either way, this ice cream brand had paired with Carnival Cruise Lines to launch an ice cream that's sunscreen flavored. And right away, I'm like, eeh. And then I take a step back and I look at the actual flavors of this, and it's cream, coconut cream, milk, cane sugar, egg yolks, cocoa butter, natural flavors, vanilla extract, and sea salt. And there's nothing on there that turns me off. If I had a coconut, salty vanilla ice cream, which is how Eric described it, I think I'm on board. So consider me influenced by this guy, Eric and Van Leeuwen. I'm about to go in and try your Carnival collaboration for your limited edition sunscreen flavored ice cream. I'm going to do it. I don't know how it's going to be, but why the fuck wouldn't I? What do you want to do? You want to go right into Quinn? All right, so we're going to go right in and do this episode with Quinn. But before we do, this segment is brought to you by our newest partner, and that's Fox One. On Fox One, you can stream your favorite live sports so you never miss those "Did you see that" moments. That means Fox NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, the MLB postseason, all in one place. I love live sports. That's what I do when I'm home. I love live sports. So having Fox One, and then also if my wife wants to see something else and she wants to catch it, it's all under one roof and it makes my life easier. It's a beautiful product. Fox One is built for live, edge of your seat plays, jaw-dropping highlights, the kind of moments that makes you shout in your living room like you're at the stadium. In sports, news, and entertainment, all streaming live the way it was meant to be watched. It's also the best way to stay locked in on your action, whether you're sweating your fantasy matchup, tracking a parlay, or just riding the chaos live as it happens. So start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. And with that, let's now go to a guy I'm a huge fan of, and I hope you will become right now. Here we go with Quinn 92.
We got to get you on tour, man.
Fuck yeah. As promised, I got Quinn 92 in here. Do I call him Mike? Do I call him Quinn? He's like, what? Do I call you Large? Do I call you Mike? I'm like, I don't fucking know. So This is Quinn. This is Large. I'm very, very happy to have you here.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Man.
I was talking as I was coming in today at a very respectable hour of around 10:30 in the afternoon. I took the elevator up with Pat Savage. Pat Savage had seen you at, by the way, what a great name, Pat Savage.
Pat Savage. My grandma's, she's passed away now, but her maiden name was Savage.
Yeah. Oh, then I can't say that it's a good porn name because Pat Savage would be a fucking great porn name. But anyway, so he saw you at Lala. There was a bunch of people around the office who are fans. I know that you've been with KFC before, but what I want to mention right off the jump, we have another guy who helps out sometimes, Manoli. Manoli is fucking great. He does a lot of stuff that I do with NASCAR. So he'll help out with some of the production work. This is the first time Ian's like, nah, I got it by myself. Ian's very territorial with his musical tastes and the people that he likes. So it's always nice to see. And we've had Jets in the air and all that kind of stuff. Ian's a huge Jet fan. So anyway, so it's going to get a little
yesterday.
bit. Yeah. It's going to get a little weird.
And the last 21 years.
Yeah. Lions lost it. I'm a big Lions fan. We lost yesterday too. So it's all good.
So the whole Detroit thing, right? So you grew up in what part of Michigan?
So it's called Grosse Pointe. It's a suburb just outside the city, about 2 minutes outside Detroit. But yeah, through and through Detroit.
Is Grosse Pointe as beautiful as it's made out to be in Grosse Pointe Blank?
Have you seen Grosse Pointe Blank?
I love Grosse Pointe Blank. I think it's got one of the better soundtracks of any movie.
It's a great movie. Yeah. Also, Gran Torino with what's his name? Old guy. Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
They film a lot of that in Grosse Pointe as well. Last scene of that movie is like driving down it's called Lakeshore Drive, which is, I've had plenty of drives late night on there next to the lake, and it's a really scenic, beautiful shot. Anyways, it's a pretty suburb. I grew up sort of in the more middle class area of it, but like there are some homes there that you're like, you got to do double takes when you drive by because they're massive. Yeah.
And it's the same thing around here. Like where I have my house in the Jersey Shore, I sometimes tell people it's one town over just so I seem like I'm,
exactly.
people from Secession.
I tell people I'm from Detroit who don't know because they're not going to know where I'm from.
Right,
if I told you the suburb, it just makes it easier. But I still claim that as my hometown.
Let's get this out of the way right away. So you're a musical artist first and foremost. And the reason that we have him in the office today, we're taping this on a Monday. We usually drop on Friday mornings. Wednesday, you have a show in New York.
This Wednesday, which
you'll already have gone.
I've already killed that show. I'm
crushed it.
I'm foreseeing it already. But yeah, it's in Central Park at Summer Stage on Wednesday.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So the next show up for you though is the big homecoming where you're going to be playing in Detroit.
In Detroit,
correct?
Yeah. Well, we have a show in Detroit and then also Grand Rapids, which is about 2 hours west of Detroit. But those are two big big, like we were saying off camera, anytime we play in Michigan, it's always a big homecoming. My parents come out, they get hammered. It's like a whole parade for like, it's basically so my dad can just tell people that's my son on stage.
Oh, that's good.
And he literally goes up to people on the street when it's like, you know, just in general, he goes, "You like music? Like you like food?" Like, you know, it's just, and the person will inevitably say, "Yes, I like music." And then he'll be like, "Well, my son's a, you know, musician, blah, blah, blah."
Right.
And so he's very proud, and I appreciate that, but he likes to brag a lot. And yeah.
I have a couple of kids. So my oldest is 21, my middle guy is 18, and my youngest is a very expensive 15-year-old girl, right? So I'm always wondering where they're going to go. The oldest is a senior at the University of Alabama. Other one just started at Montclair State, and my daughter's in high school. You were in Michigan State, right? For a while, Michigan State, East Lansing. I've been there a couple of times. I went to Notre Dame, so it was like real close home and home for us.
Yeah.
What did your dad think when you decided that music was going to be the rest of your life? Because now he's over there handing out tickets and whatnot. But was there a point where he was like, "You're never going to be able to make a living and you're going to live in my fucking basement"?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was like, I'll say this, not to like shit on my dad for a second, but my mom was always more of like the honey, go chase your dreams parent, and was soft on me, where my dad was more of a realist and is like, "Look, yeah, chase this, but like, you know, the odds are pretty stacked against you if this is, you know, for this to work out." So he was always he wasn't necessarily saying like, stop what you're doing, but he was more so putting in the back of my head, like, the inevitability that when it doesn't work out, you're going to have to find a 9-to-5 and do that. So he wasn't against it, but he was just trying to be like, you know, just be careful, you know, because
no, I mean, that's what a dad should do, right?
It is,
I mean, you got to temper expectations without, I guess, shooting
your dreams down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a gentle thing. I'm trying to do the same thing with my kids now.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering then, if you didn't do this, what would the 9-to-5 have been for you?
Yeah. I like to say it would have been advertising. I got my degree in advertising at MSU. I worked at an insurance job, though, a health insurance job out of college for like 6 months before going on my first tour. That was a disaster. I didn't know what I was doing, and I think it's probably best for that company and me to just part ways. And like, I'm glad I went on the road. But I guess I would say, given what my degree was, I would just say something in advertising. But I don't know. I think it's probably good for corporate America that I'm not a part of it, because I was a bit of a space cadet and like always knew I was better at being the creative and, you know, not sitting at a desk.
And which I can totally understand, because my background, Wall Street for 25 years.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So what got you into?
So I always wrote. Like I was always a writer. So one of the people who really liked what I was writing as blogs were starting was KFC, who I know you've spoke to a couple of times. And also Dave, the guy who eats pizza.
Yeah.
So when I had a layoff on Wall Street, just a random layoff, before I went and I jumped in another seat that was exactly like the one I just got out of. Kevin's like, "Why don't you come here and just see what you like?"
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "Yeah, why don't you do it for a year?" And then 7 years later, I'm still pushing smut. And I couldn't be fucking happier.
Yeah.
And I don't know now. Like, you're all of a sudden a music star. There's no way you're going back to fucking selling pharmaceutical, whatever the hell it was.
Once
like,
you know what I mean? That like, I don't know, not threshold, but like there's a certain line that gets crossed where you're like, I'm never going back the other way. And I think that's for me too. It's like, it wouldn't make sense at this point. Yeah.
We have people on this show, because Barstool, we get a lot of opportunities to talk to big people. It's a luxury here. And sometimes Ian's like, "Why don't we get this guy on?" But it is a food show primarily.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of connection that we can make. When we had Lisa Ann on, and Lisa Ann is, if you don't know, she's a former adult film star.
No, I can't say I'm familiar.
Yeah, everyone does remember him until we're off camera. Shout out Lisa. So Lisa's an old friend of mine, and she also owns part of a food truck, and she has her own wine label. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, but there's other ones where you have like this, like maybe a fleeting connection to food, and it doesn't work out. You're a fucking foodie, or do you hate that word? You're a foodie.
I don't mind.
Guy.
I don't mind. I know some people don't like that term.
Right.
I embrace it. Yeah, I'm a foodie for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, what's the mustard thing about? Like,
So yeah. So yeah, right here. If you could
we're going to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a couple of bumps in a second.
Yeah, so I grew up with the nickname Mustard Mike. My real name's Mike. My friends saw me putting mustard on everything. They're like, "This is your new name." So I just embraced that for many years. And then when I got popular with my music, I was like, how can I like try something else outside of music that like showcases my personality? And the first thing I thought of was food and mustard. And so I started a food blog on Instagram called Mustard Mikes, where I kind of just like shit on people that take food blogs seriously and just sort of like make fun of it. And I just take photos of things my wife makes, or like, you know, like a sandwich from a convenience store or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, but then I just write these ridiculous captions and people seem to like it. So then I was like, okay, how can I even further this? Why don't we actually make our own mustard, which has been like an idea I've had for a few years now. And we went for it. We found a manufacturer down in Florida who like helps aspiring entrepreneurs with like condiments, and now we have 2 mustards out. This is our second flavor.
What a fucking niche thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm in Florida and I'm going to help people out with aspiring food stuff. By the way,
it's
I'm
a Greek
like
family down there. They're incredible. Shout out to them. Yeah, if they're watching.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. I should probably get their name.
Yeah.
So I got the one sent to me, Michigan Cherry Bourbon.
Yeah.
You have a second one, which I think is a Rosemary Dijon.
Rosemary Dijon, yeah.
Which gets me a little blood flow too, like the idea of rosemary. But this is the one that I probably would have been a little bit more curious about. So we tried it a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And then I just had Booze in to try. Booze is one of our other producers, Ryan Boozernian or something like that. And he couldn't place the sweetness.
I'm going to help myself as well.
Yeah, right
actually.
here. I think that one still has the seal on it because I don't want to do it. He couldn't place the sweetness from it. He was like, "Where's the honey at?" I'm like, "No, that's the fucking cherry."
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, and I don't mind saying this on camera.
This is very, very good mustard. This is good mustard. This is, and by the way,
My manager's over there,
two managers. So it looks like I'm alluding to people off stage. It's not that I'm
talking
seeing
to
fucking
ghosts.
voices in my head or something like that. This is very good.
I don't mind saying that it doesn't give, it's called Michigan Cherry Bourbon. Cherries are made, I mean, there's cherries all over the place.
Yeah, but it's huge.
In Traverse City, Michigan, there's a bunch of cherry vineyards there. So it's called the Cherry State. So, or the Cherry State, whatever. I'm going to stop talking. There's not a lot of, I personally don't think this tastes very cherry or bourbon. You don't get a lot of either, but I think there's enough of both going on that makes for a really nice flavor. I can go on record and say, like, I can't do this with my music. I can't like be a cocky asshole and be like, I'm the best singer out there. It just feels wrong. And I don't know. I won't do that.
Okay.
But with mustard, I will say on record, this is, I think, the best mustard you can get on the market right now. And I'm hand to God, strike me down right now if I'm lying, but that is, it's great. So
talk that shit.
Go buy it.
Talk that shit, mustard.
Heinz,
by the way,
Heinz can F off for a second.
Maybe get a fucking album
Please
or buy a
don't
ticket to this concert as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Go see him live in Michigan and whatnot, but also get the mustard. And I got to be honest too, it's so refreshing. There is an aftertaste to it, which is I get a little bit of the bourbon cherry on the aftertaste.
I also haven't eaten anything today, so this is.
Oh, right.
I just had coffee and a bump
just
of
raw
my
nuggets
mustard.
of mustard, no big deal. So I like it. And I want the other one. I want the other Dijon rosemary one stat.
well,
I looked at your people again. I'm going to call you your people.
They're
don't mean to
based
do
here
it.
in New York, so they'll send you guys everything.
Are you fucking kidding me? I said that when we had reached out to you to come in, by the way, very, very nice. Everyone that we've dealt with on your team has been great. They're like, "Can we send you some mustard?" 2 hours later, there was a bag on the thing. They ran up and with a couple of hats. So they threw out some hats and a couple of mustards. So I just need the other one. I might as well ask for it while you're fucking here.
Yeah.
So what do you look to do with this? Is this one of those things where it's like a passion project? Because it infuriates me when Madonna just writes a children's book, you know, on the side and winds up selling 70 million copies and the rich get richer.
By the way, I am writing children's books.
Get out of here, are you? Let's go. Fuck yeah.
I'm doing it all.
But I'm saying, like, sometimes people have animosity when you jump out of something that you're very good at and you try something, then you make some money off of this also. Is this one of those things where you do want to go up against, you know, Heinz?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but like, I very much want this to be another like real way that I can like make money and I don't mean that in a way that's like I'm only doing this for money, but like what I mean is like I want this to be another like pillar of like Quinn XCII and like you know me from music and you're like, oh, that's also the dude that makes mustard. And so no, this is sure it's a creative side project, but like I'm very serious with promoting it and getting it to as to be as big as possible. But the condiment space is competitive. It's way.
Oh yeah.
It is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but I like a challenge, and it took me a while to get to where I am in music. So I'm like, let's do it. It's just cool to start something new and be like a beginner at it and prove yourself. So it's fun, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to make mustard fun. You know,
do you sell it next to the t-shirts?
No, well, we have it. So we have. No, we're not. We're selling it with the t-shirts.
Are you?
Well, no, it's part of our VIP package on tour. We're selling it at the merch booth. We are selling it at the merch booth.
That's fucking great. By the way, how disconnected is he from his fans? Yeah. I don't know what the fuck this sounds like. You know what I mean? Just put, I'm going to come in, no socks on, Birkenstocks. You know, you didn't think I was going to mention that? I just did.
My manager's freaking out because I have no socks on. Apparently, you don't do this in New York. So.
No, everyone can do it, but this guy's his toenails look like 10 poker chips. Honestly, go right from here to go get a pedicure on those things. Like cutting into a free.
I haven't cut them actually.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I'm not going to bust your balls. Nobody will. So if you do kind of offer this stuff, I think that's also a wonderful thing. Like all of a sudden somebody grabs a dog at the stadium, a t-shirt, a hat, a sweatshirt or whatever. Then they're rocking this thing on the side and they hit it with a little bit of rosemary Dijon.
I want to go out to like outside the venues and because there's always people selling like street meat or like street like hot dogs or whatever, and be out there with this and just, you know, just surprise people after they leave the show. Be like, oh, that's the guy. You know, he's putting mustard on my hot dog.
I want you to be very fucking successful with this.
Thank you.
Like, that's the whole deal, Ian. Like, I think there's so many people who kind of half-ass things. Madonna, I don't know why she's the one that I decided to bring up
Michigan,
on that one case.
Michigan person, too.
Is she? Madonna's a Michigan person?
From Michigan,
I thought she was like a Brooklyn girl.
Well, she's born in Michigan. Her family still lives there. But yeah, I think she moved to New York early. But yeah, she's from Michigan.
She was going to come on the show today, but I said, fuck you, Madonna. I got Quinn coming on. So that's the way they were going. Talk to me about Michigan then. Talk to me about Detroit. I think that Detroit is a slept on food town. There was a guy here, his name is Pat. He'd wrote a scathing blog about Detroit. He was out there for some game watch and he had a terrible experience. I saw that it was in the queue. So then I wrote a blog that was released 30 seconds after his defending Detroit. So it was like that thing. And all these people from Detroit started to follow me, like very, very proud of the town, hated Pat, loved me. So I was able to get a bunch of Detroit listeners in and around that one little blog that I wrote. But talk to me about the food scene in Detroit and where it stacks up to some of the other places that you've been while you've been touring around.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a slept on city. It's one of those cities that's been fighting to prove themselves to the rest of the country for, I think, as long as I've been from Detroit, which has been, I'm 33. I've lived in LA now for 10 years. So, you know, I grew up for 20 something years in and outside the city. And like, I've seen it firsthand, and it's a proud place to grow up, and like the people there are very proud to be from there. It's a blue collar city. So yeah, I'm not surprised that Pat got earful from the locals there.
Yeah.
But like some spots to shout out, Lafayette, Coney Island. If you've heard of it, it's like Coney Island is basically like a diner style restaurant that sells chili fries, chili dogs, Coney dogs is what they're called, burgers, and like that's it. There's like only so many things on the menu. Right. They don't tell you what's on the menu. You just have to go there and order it. And there's Coney Islands all over Michigan, but the originator is Lafayette in Detroit. Right next door, it's called American Coney Island, which is actually where this mustard will be held when we play. My manager's like, mention it. So American Coney Island is actually featuring the mustard there. So if you're from Michigan watching, they're going to actually have this down in the city the day of the show if you guys want to go check it out. But I'll say all the Coney Islands you have to check out. Jet's Pizza. There's a Jet's here.
Yeah, Jet's was.
Jet's.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people don't think like Detroit style pizza. I mean, I know we're in like the pizza capital of the world, but like I also stand by that Detroit style pizza is phenomenal, and I'm a big fan. So Jet's Pizza is one of those spots. Buddy's Pizza also in Detroit is very, very good. What else?
Can I give you a couple things?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So what I find too is that when you look on the internet, because Ian and I are trying to go around the country and we rate a lot of restaurants. So he just put up the interactive map, and we're lucky enough that we get to travel for a bunch of things. I cover boxing here. I cover NASCAR. I do a bunch of stuff with the golf guys. So de facto, you get to go around, and while I'm there, I try some of the different restaurants. We review them, and it looks like I'm worldly.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to Michigan in such a long time. Well, no, I went there for a race. By the way, sneaky great NASCAR town up there too.
Yeah.
Irish Hills, Michigan. Fucking
Where's that?
It's so I got off. I landed in Detroit.
Yeah.
And you can go one way towards the city or one way towards cornfields. I went into the cornfields. I popped up an hour later at a beautiful track, Michigan Speedway, whatever it is.
Michigan Speedway. Yeah.
Great play. I was the grand marshal at a little flex there. Did the gentleman start your engine for the Xfinity race there?
Did you really?
Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's like I call it a mini Talladega. The infield in Michigan is wild.
Yeah.
And the racing there is very good. And the crowd shows up. It's a sneaky, huge NASCAR
Is that
town.
exhilarating to do that? The gentleman start your engine?
So it's me and the guy who I host the show with. His name is Spider. So it's Large and Spider. And I'm a bigger guy and Spider is a smaller guy. I was adjusting my I was taking off my sunglasses, putting my regular glasses in my pocket, and Spider started. I missed the first word. I totally fucked.
Ladies and gentlemen, you missed?
Yeah, we just did drivers start your engine. You know what I mean? I missed drivers. How can I fuck that up? You know what I mean? It was 4 words, and but still, it's one of those things. Then you get in a pace car, you go around, and to use the word exhilarating, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
But I find that when I have people on from different states or different towns that I haven't been to, and I just do a casual internet search on what the most popular food is from those places, some people are like, I never fucking heard of it.
Yeah.
You know, so if you pop up Michigan in general, don't even get granular into Detroit. One of the first things that pops up is the Detroit style pizza, which obviously you had already touched upon. I think that it's one of the better styles of pizza around.
I think so too.
Yeah. And I was born in the Bronx, raised in Brooklyn, spent my whole life in New York, right? Except for the time that I was in Indiana for college. Detroit style pizza, the way it gets crusty in those pans, I'm starting to salivate now. Could be from the mustard too. I think that it's elite. You talk
an
about
allergic reaction, actually.
yeah. You talk about Coney dogs. I grew up in Coney Island.
Okay.
So I never really appreciated you guys taking the fucking name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I never even knew that Coney Island was, growing up, I just thought Coney Island's the restaurant. I didn't even know there was a place called Coney Island in New York. Yeah.
South Brooklyn, the ass end of Brooklyn, the non-sexy side, the non-hipster side.
Yeah.
Coney Island, Sheepshead Bay, Garrettson Beach. I grew up in Garrettson Beach. So Coney Island, you know what a Coney Island whitefish is?
No.
I'm going to tell you right now. Coney Island is, when I was growing up, was so jam-packed with hookers that when it rained out.
This is why you're laughing.
when it rained the next morning, all the spent condoms would be going down the drain towards the thing. And that's Coney Island whitefish. Probably something you don't want to put on a brochure.
My dad and you would be best friends.
Oh, would we?
Yeah,
you get along?
100%. He's bald too. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I get that a lot. But what about a pasty or pasty? Do you know what the hell that is? Is that popular to you? Sounds like a Hot Pocket to me.
Is it the Polish?
So it's a handheld, and I'm not putting you on the spot, I apologize. A handheld savory pie with a flaky crust, traditionally filled with meat and potatoes, a popular item in the Upper Peninsula. Is the Upper Peninsula like a different universe?
I've never been there.
Okay.
Believe it or not. Yeah. So I never went there, but that's what people say, actually. Some people say it doesn't even feel like Michigan. It's more like you're in Canada at that point.
Right.
But it's way up there. Apparently it's beautiful. Again, I've never been, but I've heard of this before. I've never had one. I thought you were saying like pierogi. So I'm Polish, and there's a big Polish food scene in Hamtramck, Michigan, which is outside Detroit. Polish Village is a restaurant there that you have to go check out. One of my favorite things there is dill pickle soup, which people think about that.
I love dill pickle soup. Yeah.
Had it before?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I fuck with it. So I'm
my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. By the way, this guy's legit. I mean, obviously he's a legit musical artist. I'm honest. And I mean it when I say I'm very, very appreciative that you're here, but I'm also very appreciative to see a guy that's a little bit, I don't know. You sort of get a little blood flow when you're talking about food too.
Absolutely,
I think.
Man.
So
yeah.
Upper Peninsula of Michigan, for people who don't know, Michigan has some of the most beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
I used to go to New Buffalo, which is sort of right on Lake Michigan. And I'm telling you, I mean, there's no tides, there's no surfing or anything like that. But man, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to kind of be in and around. Yeah. But the Upper Peninsula does Peninsula does kind of fascinate me.
Yeah. Again, it's so odd that as much as I've lived there, I've never been, but people love it up there. There's a city called Marquette, Michigan up there, Northern Michigan University. It's a big party school, big hockey school.
Right.
But yeah, I'll have to get up there. We gotta do a show up there.
Do it.
Daisy.
Better Made potato chips. Is that a popular brand for you?
Better Made, of course. Yeah.
Never had them.
What?
I mean, so whenever I go to like gas stations, at fucking NASCAR races, honest to God, I can have a a pasty or whatever, if I hold up a local chip when I'm doing a restaurant review, Ian, you'll tell, right? I purposely mispronounced one that's called Wachusetts. I called it Wassachusetts while I was up in Chess. Everybody lost their fucking mind. People love local potato chips, and Better Made is the local one by you.
I think the best chip,
I like this.
I'm biased, but like that is such a good potato chip. They sell those at Lafayette, Coney Island. They sell those at all the Tigers games. That's a chip that you see everywhere growing up in Michigan. Yeah. Also Verner's. I don't know if that's on that list.
I will tell you right now, Verner's is the ginger ale. Yes. I've had it.
Yes.
You have Fago down here too.
Fago's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Verner's is really, really big in Michigan.
And I've had Verner's, and it does have a tremendous amount of ginger in it. Like you do feel like you're not drinking something
but it doesn't taste like typical ginger ale. It has its own unique flavor, but Verner's is another thing that people are very proud of in Michigan. Yeah.
Mackinac Island fudge.
Mackinac Island.
There's no C in that. I don't do that?
No. Mackinac.
Look at this. I love that.
Yeah.
Mackinac Island fudge.
Fudge is big too. Yeah.
Bumpy cake. I don't know what the fuck bumpy cake is. It's a chocolate cake with a signature topping of marshmallows or coconut.
I don't know what that is.
Topped with bumps of chocolate. That does sound a little bit weird. They mentioned cherries and apples as you had before, and then something whitefish, a type of fish from the Great Lakes. Obviously, that's fine. Fried whitefish, I can get.
I'm not a big. I like seafood, but fish, like just whitefish or like salmon is probably the only fish I like to eat. But it's funny, we didn't really grow up eating seafood in Michigan. It's not like it's surrounded by bodies of water, but I don't know. You don't really. Yeah, it's not known for its like fishing. I guess. Yeah, because I could be wrong in that, but like
it has like more of I don't know, like a blue collar feel to it that everyone should be sitting down more.
Yeah, it's not like Boston or Newport, Rhode Island, where it's like these great cities that have great fishing and like it's lake fish. It's not really. You're not going to eat a lot of that. So.
Yeah, it's not like you're sitting there in Juneau, Alaska or something like that.
Yeah.
So then talk to me how your tastes have changed then. So you went from a guy who, I mean, it's not like you grew up a poor kid from whatever, but you did achieve this degree of stardom where you don't have any kind of restrictions on yourself monetarily. How have your taste changed, like in food at least? You know what I mean?
I think just by traveling a lot via like music, I've been able to go places that I never thought I would be able to go to, and I try the food, and I idolize guys like Anthony Bourdain and all these people that preach like travel and life short and try the cuisine and don't be pretentious and think that where you are is like the only food that's the best food. Like, so I try to keep an open mind and I think my taste has evolved just by being on tour like I am right now and going places and not being a snob and like trying to like take the locals' advice and eat what they say you should eat. Some of it's not good, but like at least trying it and having that openness to eat something new is exciting for me. I enjoy it. Yeah.
What's the length of this tour that you're currently on?
This is our, we already played the show apparently, right? Because this comes out Friday, but this show in New York will be our fourth show. So we're like right in the middle of it.
And then how far out do you go?
I should say. We have 6 weeks of the tour in general. We've got like 5 weeks left. So we're doing our East Coast run now, and then we're going to make our way down south, hit the Midwest, and then go back to the West Coast.
Okay.
So yeah, we're still very much on tour. Yeah.
I do a fair amount of traveling, but obviously nothing compared to you. Ian is the same way. How do you not become an absolute fat bastard if you're going on tour for
you wear baggy clothes like this? So you'll see.
No, but is it one of those things where you don't stay in any place where there isn't a gym? Is there something where you have to try local delicacies? Because that's not that New York is spent for me, but I find myself eating out more when I go to different places just because I have to try different things. I can't leave a place without having a little bit of Verner's and a Mackinac Island fudge. Like I have to do that.
Yeah.
And I wound up eating at 6 o'clock in the morning on my stomach in my hotel room because I'm a fat fuck. How do you avoid that when you're on tour?
It's hard to avoid it. I mean, I have people I work with that are very diligent with like eating well and working out. I'm not one of those people. I mean, I have dumbbells on tour right now with me. I bought a yoga mat on Amazon, so like I try and do some stuff outside the venue. But I'm with you. It's like being a foodie. Again, I'm not ashamed of just using that term. I have to try I want to stay healthy, but I want to like eat good food on the road. So it's that balance. And the green rooms at venues, like the catering, it can sometimes be hit or miss. So you always have those options of eating healthy by what the venue's providing. But it's fun to, order in the good pizza from that city after the show, or go out for lunch somewhere and stop. So I'm still figuring. This is my 10th tour, and I'm still figuring that out. I don't really know how to do it.
Take your time with it.
Yeah.
Do you have a big time rider list? The green M&M's got to go, or
not
all
really.
that stuff?
No, I know people have those horror stories of like no blue M&Ms, or I asked for underwear this tour because doing laundry is a pain in the ass. So that's probably the most diva thing I've asked for so far. But I keep it pretty simple, like throat coat tea, stuff to help my voice, and then like beef jerky.
Okay. That's not that fucking
keep
big.
the muscle on.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of throat coat
helps
tea.
the toenails grow.
Yeah. And I was shitting on his toenails before. They're actually pristine. I'd put them in my mouth.
No, they're really not actually.
Oh, no, they're not? Fuck.
No, I'm curling my toes in right now so you don't see them.
So and again, we've only known.
This is like dying.
Yeah, we've only known each other now for a solid 10 or 15 minutes. I think that I could take you to places, particularly in Brooklyn, that would knock your eye out. There's a couple of places that I think you shouldn't leave New York.
Can you drop a few of those right now?
I can. You know what? You maybe should follow my page.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
Yeah.
That's all I fucking do is give places on the thing. You know
what do you do again?
Exactly. Huge? Ground day?
Yeah, huge. Yeah.
No, but like if I took you over to Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, over by Coney Island.
Yeah.
I could take you to Totono's in Coney Island and give you pizza that's going to knock your eye out. We'd walk over to Randazzo's. We'd do the Gallimar hot and sweet sauce with the biscuit in the middle. It would absolutely kill you. Then we'd just take a small Uber over to Brennan and Carr, which is one of the oldest restaurants in Brooklyn. It's on this corner in Nostrand Avenue and Avenue U that used to be a dirt road. And they've been serving this roast beef sandwich that they just, they dip into the fucking, into the broth. And it is elite.
Like
I took you in there.
Or something.
Yeah. Like the same way that people don't like the word foodie.
Yeah.
People at Brennan and Carr like it's beef broth.
Yeah,
they don't like the au jus. They're like, fuck those French.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those places, I think that you should experience. And you're like, no, Large, I got to go do a show and all that stuff.
What's the hot dog spot? I think it's off Jersey on the freeway. The
Rutt's Hut?
Yes.
Yeah. So Rutt's Hut is the first place this asshole ever tried relish. Went 22 years on this mortal coil, never tried
like it.
Oh, he's got the palate of an
incredible.
infant.
Yeah.
I would take you to Rutt's Hut in Clifton, New Jersey, right off Route 21. I was there a couple of weeks ago.
The Rippers?
The Rippers. Yeah. The deep fried ones. They make their own. It's this electric yellow relish that doesn't actually have mustard in it. I don't know if it's like turmeric seed or something like that gets it to that color. Mm-hmm. It is the best hot dog that you're ever going to have. Not necessarily, but it'll blow the Coney out of the water. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I go to Detroit, obviously, or Irish Hills, to have someone like you be like, no, let me show you my world.
Yeah.
That's the best thing in the world for me.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the New York spots I'm familiar with through Action Bronson, the rapper. And I don't know him, but like
the greatest.
Yeah, that's delicious. Like that is like that's my Bible, it's like I follow that for any recommendation. So and he obviously travels all over the world, but particularly the East Coast, like I feel like I've gotten all of recommendations through him, but I haven't been able to try a lot of them. But Ruts is I know through him, so
Ruts Hut, yeah,
I gotta stop. We're actually staying in Secaucus, so I might need to go stop over there. I don't know if it's close by.
I have a couple of spots near Secaucus. I'll hook you up with a couple of things. I'll write them down or whatever. Because I live in Ridgewood, New Jersey now, so I'm north of town, not too far away from Secaucus. So a couple of things. But Rutt's Hut, if you're going to make one pilgrimage while you're in New Jersey, Rutt's Hut is the fucking place.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay,
like there's a couple of places there's 1,000 places to go in New York, but once you start to get into the boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx, it gets a little bit thinner. And then in New Jersey, there's only a couple of iconic places that I would make sure you tried before you left.
Yeah.
And I think number one on that list might be Rutt's Hut. Okay. Yeah. So, so I don't know. I'll pay for the Uber, whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. Do you feel comfortable if you had somebody? One of the things that I do when I sit down at a table with people who are just there to have, a good time or whatever, but aren't concentrating on the food, I don't mind ordering for the table. If someone says, hey, Large, why don't you take care of it and order for the table? That's a huge responsibility, I think, sometimes because people are so picky and whatnot. Do you feel comfortable doing that for people?
I don't think I've ever been in that position before.
No,
where someone's been like, you take the lead. Yeah. I also don't like, this is not what you asked me, but I'm just going to say
no, please.
I don't like sharing meat. I don't like family style.
That's like my wife.
Yeah, it bugs me. I need my own thing. My wife hates the fact that I
How long have you been married?
6 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And we have lots of fights out in public because like she's like, it's just so much easier if we share. And I like need my own entree. I need it's a very sacred thing to go out and eat food. Like
Sure.
I don't want people to I don't want people touching my food. So but I've never been asked to order for the table before.
No, okay.
Maybe that's just because people don't trust my taste or something. But yeah,
I just think it was one of those things where
I don't have a problem with it though.
If I stepped into one of Coney places, I'd be like, "What do you want, large?" I'd be like, "Whatever he's getting."
Yeah,
like that's how I feel, and I'm hoping that there's a Fago
I would steer
or
us in the right direction. Yeah, I'm confident in my taste, but no one's ever asked me that. So,
are you going to expand the whole mustard thing? I'm going to ask you two questions. How'd you come up with the flavor pairings for this? Because I've never had rosemary Dijon. And again, it's something that I'm dying to try now.
Mm-hmm.
Like when hot honey became popular, I took some Calabrian chilies, I mixed it up with some honey, and I made my own hot honey that I absolutely fucking love.
Wow, yeah.
But then everything else is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Mike's and Stu Leonard's makes a good one and all that shit.
Yeah.
I can't do what you just did with that.
Well, mind you, I didn't make it.
No, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, exactly. But what you're selling, right? Through these guys in Florida, like you're saying, is something that I don't think can be easily recreated.
I don't think so either, actually. Yeah. I do stand by that. Yeah. I mean, so with the rosemary Dijon, the first one we dropped, I've always liked Dijon. That's like my favorite type of mustard.
Yeah.
And my wife and I cook with rosemary a lot. And so I think I don't know. I got the idea to combine the two and it worked out. It's a good pairing.
Yeah.
And then with Michigan cherry bourbon, like I said, cherries are big in Michigan up in Traverse City. Yeah. I also like bourbon. Nothing. That's it. That's the story. So I think the goal is to kind of keep pairing unique flavors with mustard and do things that aren't exactly like your typical flavor of mustard and think outside the box a bit. So
can we have 17 of these?
Of course.
Can we have 17 different flavors by the time that you get done with this? And then all of a sudden you corner the market.
Yeah. And
I don't have to go anywhere but Mustard Mike's for all my mustard.
I want to do a Japanese inspired one next, like a wasabi mustard. Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm trying to make this as big as it can get. So it's just fun to do also,
So let me ask you something. I had heard floating around inside this pod room something about mustards across America. Is that what we're calling it?
I think that's it.
Can you tell me something about that? What the fuck's mustard across America? You're welcome.
Yeah, we're stopping at a bunch of cities on this tour that are hosting, or there's restaurants in a bunch of these cities that are hosting the mustard as like a special item. And they're creating a special item on the menu that features the mustard that they're selling. So 7th Street Burger in New York, glad I got that right.
Yes.
Is going to be hosting the mustard. So they have a burger with the mustard on it. But I'm most excited about Mr. Beef, which is inspired by, well, I should say this, the show The Bear. Mm-hmm. That restaurant is based off of Mr. Beef, which is like the spot in Chicago that does Italian beef. They're going to do a sandwich with the mustard. I'm very curious to see how that goes because I don't think Italian beef, it doesn't come with mustard.
No.
It's kind of what you mentioned earlier. You dip it in like a broth.
Yeah, they give you the jus.
Yeah.
Fancy pants. Yeah.
They'll give you the jus. Yeah. So we're gonna go there. That's one I'm definitely gonna be at because I like the Bear a lot, but I also know that this is an iconic spot. So everyone, my local friends in Chicago are like, you got to go. So,
but they also do the Italian sausage there on top of it because you could do the half and half, the beef and the sausage in there, with the peppers and whatnot.
What are your thoughts on like Chicago's because? Are they a pizza town or a hot dog town or a beef? Like people debate this and I don't really know. I don't really love the hot dogs there. I'll be honest. It's just. Yeah.
The Vienna beef sausages
not
done,
my
dragged through the garden and stuff like that. I think, Chicago has a little bit of an identity problem, right? Because everyone says the Chicago deep dish pizza. Nobody in Chicago fucking likes it. Meanwhile, their tavern style with that crispy cracker and they cut it into squares is fantastic.
Do you like Chicago deep dish?
I don't. You know what? I shouldn't say that because maybe 2 or 3 times a year, my oldest son likes it.
Yeah.
So I'll get something mailed to me from Lou Malnati's.
Yeah.
We'll throw it in and we'll have it and it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's a cake, right? Like
it's lasagna.
Yeah. And so to say that I don't like it is an absolute lie, but to say that I like it as much as I like some of the pizza places that we did out there, I can't remember that one, but that had the Filipino infusion to it.
Novel pizza.
I've
heard their bar style pizza is incredible.
Oh, off the charts. I'm a Chicago guy, a Chicago dog guy.
Okay.
So I don't mind it, but I can understand that they don't have an international appeal because of the sport peppers, the relish, the celery salt, the raw onions. Yeah. There is something, and tomatoes, pickle. There is something in there that can turn people off. That's why the Italian beef to me is that city's identity.
That's their thing, yeah.
It's because I think that Baltimore is pit beef. I think that Buffalo, as much as everyone says buffalo wings, I'm very, very happy for them. But beef on weck is Baltimore for me.
Oh.
Philly obviously has their cheesesteak. We have our chopped cheese here.
I've never had chopped cheese before.
Oh, chopped cheese is a very good bodega classic.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And listen, it doesn't have the gravitas or the history that you get just going to Katz and getting a big pastrami sandwich. I mean,
Love
I think
Katz is worth the hype too.
Yeah.
I've had it a few times, and every time I go, I'm like, this can't be as good as people advertise it.
And it is.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So, my high school is 2 blocks away.
Really?
So we could go during unbusy times, just go to Katz. And, I'm 100 years old, so it wasn't as popular now. There was no cell phones back then.
Yeah.
Some guy painting the fucking sandwich.
Yeah.
But no, I think there are a couple of sandwiches that define a city.
Yeah.
And for me, the Italian beef is the one. And the Bears helped with that.
Yeah.
Like it or hate it, we had Chef Michael Ferraro on. This guy's done everything in the restaurant world. He doesn't like the Bear. As a matter of fact, he says his favorite food movie of all time, and it wasn't even close, is Ratatouille. Like I was expecting him to go a little bit deeper into it.
You know what my favorite movie of all time is? It's called Chef. Have you seen that?
Great fucking show.
And they filmed it actually right. I lived in Venice for a few years. And they filmed it right.
No. So Chef is with
what's his
handsome
name?
guy, Bradley Cooper? Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
So
You're
Jon
thinking of
Favreau on the
Burnt,
food
I
truck.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jon Favreau in the food truck with John Leguizamo and his son and his hot wife who is divorcing him.
Vergara.
She was some. Of course, she's got a fast. Fucking great movie.
Yes.
So I was expecting something more gritty like that. He's like, no, Ratatouille is the one, man.
Ratatouille. I love Ratatouille. Also. Yeah.
So it's
you also say it. You say it interesting.
I say Ratatouille, like almost like I'm shooting a machine gun. This guy is very, very like he's critical. I don't like that, especially with those toes. Where does he get the fucking confidence? It's like his
Ratatouille.
Yeah. So I've always considered Chicago to be a beef town.
Yeah.
But we had Chef Greeny in here, and he started this new school American cheese. I'm telling you, new school American cheese and one of these mustards is, so he's made an American cheese that instead of putting in like fillers for regular American cheese, he put in butter. Instead, it doesn't have the shelf life that you would get from like Land O'Lakes or Boar's Head or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the best. He sent me a block of it, like the welfare cheese block.
Yeah.
I went through that thing like a box of lipos. Boom, fucking through it. So he did a collabo with Papa Bagels. Right over here.
So did we actually.
Did you do one with those guys?
We did a mustard schmear with pop-up bagels.
That's what I was. So you fucking stole. That was my fucking idea.
Yeah. It was even better than the mustard. I will
really?
Say. Yeah.
Their pimento cheese with a new school cheese, the best spread the best pimento. And I lived in Atlanta for a year and a half. What the fuck does that make me? A pimento cheese?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the best one I ever had. When I was in high school, kid in front of me in the bagel store on Sheepshead Bay Road every day. I'd get a corn muffin, sometimes a bagel every day. Grape soda, egg bagel with mustard and cream cheese.
Wow.
Every fucking day. He would get mustard and cream cheese on an egg bagel. Never seen anyone do that since.
I was going to say, most people would be freaked out by that, apparently.
Yeah. And I tried it. It was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Just because I never spoke to the kid. We never exchanged like numbers or anything like that.
We need to talk to them about really selling that.
Bagels and mustard.
It blew my mind. It was insane. People that don't even like mustard were like, that is really, really
So what was it though? Was it just one of these two?
It was rosemary Dijon, the first flavor.
Right.
With a cream cheese based spread. Or was it butter? I think it was more of a butter. It was a butter based spread.
Right.
I don't even think there was cheese in it, actually. I think it was a butter and mustard spread. It
really?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And I would tell you,
I forgot about it actually. Yeah,
people. That's how busy you are.
Yeah,
right. This is a touring life thing. Yeah,
people want to work with you.
Yeah, I thought I was going to revolutionize you by saying to get there. And Papa Bagels is kind of
shout out to Papa Bagels. Actually, they're like the nicest people. Best bagel I've had in a very long time.
Caustic here in New York City because everyone gets so tight. No, this bagel's better. This bagel's better.
Yeah, and
they sell them. You can only buy, I think, 3 at a pop.
Yeah,
and and they don't cut them. And I think it's very sad when people are like, I don't know what to do with 3 bagels.
Do you like the rip and dip thing they do?
I love.
So do I. So do I. Yeah.
I don't mind the St. Louis one too, where they cut it into they put it through a bread slicer instead of cutting it in half. They do it like slicing it right across. I just love bagels.
Yeah, I love bagels.
And a good bagel like the ones you get around here. And Papa Bagels always comes warm too, so it makes a difference.
This is why I love food, because you could literally have a podcast about just bagels or just pizza or just like there's so much diversity, especially in this city, but like these are all different categories, and we could talk for hours about bagels all day, or like
Right.
I don't know. It's just
if you have
fun.
your palate. You
Yeah.
can't talk with food about people. I don't know why I'm talking to you, Ian. If you have the palate of a fucking 12-year-old, no matter how nice they are.
I'm sure you're a great guy too, but like, yeah, it's tough being around people.
I know, but when you have somebody who's kind of, and I shit on Ian, but it's everyone knows that this show doesn't exist without him. So I give him a lot of compliments on the side. Though.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to build his head up. There's a couple of questions that we ask everybody. I'm going to ask you just a couple of them because they've taken up way too much of your time already.
It's all right.
What's a Tim Duncan of food? What doesn't get the press but is constantly solid across the board?
Detroit-based food, or just
Anything in the world?
general?
Anything in the world that you would say it's never the top of the menu, but sometimes you get in the mood for it, and when you have it,
Tuna sandwich.
Tuna sandwich is one of those things nobody fucking orders tuna.
It's one of my favorite things to eat in general.
From a deli or
Goes
homemade.
great with mustard.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that
This
tie-in.
goes great on a tuna sandwich or a chicken salad, or you can also whatever. But tuna.
Tuna on what?
Tuna salad. Tuna on rye.
Tuna on rye is going to be one of the most solid sandwiches for the rest of time, but it's never going to be number one on a menu.
It's not going to be the LeBron of the.
Correct. It'll never
pyramid.
get a name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a meal.
What's your? I'm curious what yours would be.
So I usually say the ice cream sandwich when I
You
go
told me
to a
this.
thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I do. I usually say an ice cream sandwich. But when people come on the show, like Nate was like, sometimes I order a turkey on toast with American cheese and mayonnaise and lettuce and tomato, just a plain old or you know what it is for me? When I'm in a hotel and I don't know what the hotel is as far as how their food is or anything, I always have a turkey club sent up to the room. And I'm never disappointed with a little bit of turkey and a little bit
Sometimes
of bacon
they're very
onto
dry.
something.
Sometimes it's very dry.
And that's, I always ask
throw
him,
a
can you send me
mayonnaise
up
on.
some of the mustard mics?
Yeah, or mustard. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you can screw around with it
Yeah.
with the condiments. I also love I love a soft boiled egg.
So do I, man. Yeah.
So if I have this little weighted thing that cracks open the top of the egg, I pop it, I dip some toast into it. I love I eat soft boiled eggs like I am a 90-year-old woman from fucking Staffordshire, England, watching the Great British Baking Show with a shawl on. Like honestly, that does not get old for me, and I would never order it at a restaurant. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
What's a meal that you wish you can get back? One of the reasons why I say you wish you can get it back is either the restaurant's not around anymore. The person who made it for you is not around anymore, or maybe it's just something where you think your palate has gotten to a point where you'd never be able to enjoy it. We had Patty on who said it was the chicken nuggets and powdered mashed potatoes he got every Wednesday in high school. He thinks it would be disgusting now, but back then, just having that meal with his buddies every Wednesday.
Right.
What's that one meal you wish you can get back?
That's a good question. Ooh, that's not a good angle.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, think about it. Is it something that maybe like a relative had made? You know what I mean? Like Spites was like, oh, my grandmother used to make some sort of chowder or something. I was like, is she dead? He's like, no, she just stopped making it. Something like that.
My aunt Chris, she makes this it's like a Jello it sounds crazy. It's green Jello, mandarin oranges, mini marshmallows, and it's like a Jello casserole.
Really?
It sounds
like an ambrosia almost.
hideous. Yeah.
Really?
And I would devour that as a kid. And now when she still makes it, God bless her soul, but I stare. I never get close to it.
But
because
back in the day,
that was like the best thing to eat. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even know. I would say I'd wish I'd have, like, it's not a meal I'd wish to have back, but one that I just can't eat anymore.
Right.
But at the time was like a delicacy. Yeah.
And then I'll ask you one final thing and get you out of here, right? Because I think I had you guys a little bit too long. When they finally get you for all the money you're embezzling through this mustard company, and they put you on death row, and they're about to put your lights out the next day, and you have your death row meal coming to it.
Imagine this is actually like how the CIA gets me.
They get you. Yeah, exactly. This is the one that takes you down. Yeah. What is your death row meal?
It's my mom's baked beans. Yeah.
Wow.
Which you wouldn't know about, but like,
I want to know about them.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. My mom does this thing where she does three types of Bush's baked beans. So it's original, brown sugar, and I think it's beans with like chopped meat inside. She puts, and kidney beans. She puts it all in this pot with chopped cheddar cheese, chopped onions, ketchup, brown sugar, bacon. I think there's something else I'm missing, but it is, and that's not really a lot of A-list ingredients together, but
I love
combined, it is like the dream team. And it is so good. And like every time I make it now for my friends in California, and it's always the best thing at the barbecue. And like, it's so good, man. Like it is, yeah. And it's good cold too. That's when you know
cold
food
baked
is good.
Beans.
Right. It sounds crazy.
My death row meal is cold baked beans. That makes for a very interesting electric chair. I mean, I could get fucking messy.
Yeah.
But when you can eat it cold, I made a Sunday sauce yesterday. I got up at 2 a.m. and I had a couple of meatballs cold. You know what I mean? And that's when you know, it's fucking great.
Great.
And I have all this elaborate Italian breads that I had. I put it right in between the two pieces of white bread, just squish the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
It's elite. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man. If it's cold, if it's good cold, that's how you know it's elite. So yeah, my mom's baked beans.
All right. So talk some shit. What do people need to do with you as far as outside of going online, Mustard Mikes?
Mustardmikes.com. That's where you can get the mustard.
Yes.
If you're inclined to. But with the music, I'm on tour right now. It's called the Look I'm Alive tour. You can get tickets at Quinn XCII.com. And man, we're only 4 shows in, and we've got about 5 weeks left to tour. So basically everywhere else besides Cincinnati, New York. What have we played so far? New Haven, Connecticut. Anywhere else in America, that's probably where you can see me. So aside from those cities, we already played them.
And I appreciate you taking some time out. This is Quinn 92. This is You Got to Try This. And we'll see you guys next time. You're the man, Quinn. All right. So that was Quinn 92. I think I had summed it up pretty well at the beginning of this thing. I'd have that guy back in a heartbeat. I get the feeling that you're going to be on stage with him because for people who don't know, Ian always has another thing in mind. And as soon as we got done with the interview, oh, by the way, I'm going to be at this show. Anyway, I get a VIP. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I'm going to the Chicago show. You're following this guy around like the fucking Grateful Dead. So you're going to be hooked up with the VIP in New York. I'm hoping they hook you up in Chicago as well. That's me putting it out to them, Ian, trying to help you out. But again, thank you so much for your time because this guy's touring and doing so much other stuff. So to take time to do our little podcast is much appreciated. Listen, before we go, I got to say thank you again to Pepsi and to Fox One for the continued support. And just remind you guys, 5-star reviews, leave a question. We'll get to them every episode. And we have a bunch of great guests coming up, right? We have the competitive eater, James Webb from Australia. Awesome guy. Scott Conant from Scarpetta. Awesome guy. We have Andrew Zimmerman on the horizon. I'm off to Chicago next week, so probably get a couple people in Chicago. I think you're off to Chicago next week too to see a concert, so we might be there together. But either way, got a ton of stuff on. Oh, and I think we're going to do a live show, or do like one of those videos at Peter Luger's. We just got to get that. And do we have a date for that yet? No, right? So I don't know where you guys stand on Peter Luger's, the steakhouse in Brooklyn. Well, people have gone hot and cold on this for a long time. It used to be just an institution, and then it became kind of cool to be like, Peter Luger's is overrated. Sort of like the way people about 15 years ago were like, I don't like turkey at Thanksgiving. Peter Luger's is still a great fucking meal. I'm going to go with Ian, and I'm going to prove it to you. So that's going to be down the pipeline, a couple other things that we're working on. This is all happening at You Got to Try This. So come on back to us next week, and we'll see you then.